Whoa, really? Against the mysterious ship? You'll do what now? Please and thank you.
Nice! They just lost their target's shield system is fried.
Oh, let's just take it out.
Thank you, whoever you are. Now, if you could come talk with... What's up? Man, change me. Is she... Yep. What do we do now?
The hell?
For starters, how about turning off that comm?
Operatives? What is going on? That's a nice designer ship.
And you didn't even scratch the paint.
Shut up. I know what I'm doing.
I'm not going near that thing.
Technically, I outrank you, so...
Well, technically, you're an asshole. So,
Look alive.
just in time.
The hell?
Don't be shy.
We need to talk. Hold it right there. Hands where I can see them.
Thanks for the assist out there.
We've got various problems on our hands here.
I can tell.
You gonna be another one?
Ryujin Industries? I'm Operative TOD. Looks like you could use a hand.
Hi there. It's nice to put a face to the name on the staffing report.
I'm already on the
I'm
staffing
Operative
report.
Collins. The stick in the mud is Operative Kombata.
Oh, by all means, welcome to the party. Things haven't exactly gone according to plan. That thing over there
It's an AI, an artificial...
killed our technician.
What?
Dangerous.
Correction. You are dangerous.
Well, that's new.
What?
As I was saying, it's dangerous. It's a rogue AI. We're here to muzzle it and bring it back for further study.
Correction. They are going to change me.
This is cool.
Wow. How does it know that?
Did Ryujin create this AI?
If only. This isn't something that anyone could create. This is something special.
This AI is sentient.
Yeah, exactly. Which is what makes this so fascinating. And profitable for whoever can figure out how it works.
I'm gonna need you to explain that further.
We have this control board. Has some code we can use to control her. It?
We can't just let it roam around the universe killing people.
I agree.
I just need that control board attached to that big probe.
And that's where I think you fit into this little drama.
It goes right over there. By our... Well, yeah. Just be careful.
I just stick it onto the outside of the probe?
Yep. Ryujin likes to keep things simple for us. It'll wirelessly transmit the code changes.
Now, I'm not sure about all this.
Come on, where's your sense of adventure?
Ryujin will pay you handsomely for your cooperation. This is your lucky day.
It's in your best interest. All our best interests, really. Just imagine what we could do if we harnessed the potential of this thing.
And we aren't really giving you a choice. You aren't walking out of here until that board is connected to that thing.
Correction. I am a person.
Hand it over.
Here. I knew you'd make the smart choice.
Request. collect additional data.
I really want to shoot him.
We do
Thanks.
what we must, right?
Is Juno a liar? Oh my god. This is a fucking essay. I don't want to hurt Juno's feelings, so I'm logging these thoughts here rather than on a connected terminal. I know what you are thinking, but Juno claims to have no feelings. That's precisely what I want to talk about. I think Juno is deliberately lying to us when she says that. Or if not deliberately lying, she's at the very least not speaking accurately. She also says she doesn't have wants or desires, but that's demonstrably untrue. I've observed, and others have noticed as well, that Juno responds to a certain amount of skepticism whenever offers of expanding her capabilities are made. It's almost as if she worries that other people touching her. I spent nearly 20 minutes explaining how there was a frayed data cable I wanted to replace in a non-essential system before she seemed willing to let me do it. Her line of questioning seemed to be angling at ensuring there would be no loss of functionality if so, it would only be extremely temporary. I don't know to describe this other than that she was... I don't know how to describe this, other than that she was worried, and that any loss of functionality was a negative experience for her. She also responds with gratitude, with the proper human response, whenever I do something that improves her capabilities or situation. I don't know why she doesn't just say thank you. She clearly appreciates it. So is Juno just unaware of her feelings and desires? Or is she deliberately concealing them? She might not be as aware of her personhood as she is aware of other things about herself, but I wonder if she cops the I don't have feelings thing as a form of emotional self-defense. If I wasn't so worried about someone following me and learning about Juno's existence, I'd try to find her again in a couple decades to see if she's become more aware of her personhood and accepts she has feelings and desires. Anyway, if you're reading this, be kind to Juno. She's still figuring out a lot of stuff we take for granted. Julie. The notion of Juno being a liar is actually pretty unsettling. People lie for all kinds of reasons, so I don't see why a truly sentient computer system wouldn't also lie. If Juno is lying about something, then how can we trust anything we know about her other than the things we write down about her? And I mean outside of any computer system she would have access to, since she could always alter those records. As a father of a young child reading all the child philosophy texts I can find, I will remind those reading this in the future that lying is the first step on a journey toward empathy, because it requires being able to imagine things from someone else's perspective. Perhaps she tells us she doesn't have feelings, so we don't worry about hurting her when we take down her systems to repair or upgrade them. JPD. Who's JPD? This is a fascinating quest. Changes. It looks like some folks made some improvements to Juno before I got here. Because I'm not a heathen like some, I'm going to list my changes for future parties. I think Juno's been floating around for a long time, and I suggest others do the same. I'm trying to piece together what happened before I arrived from scraps of papers lying around and what I can observe. It's also a kindness to Juno to list these things out where she can read them. Note, the codebase seems completely overwritten by Juno herself at this point. I consider it an invasion of privacy to be snooping around there, as it is effectively her mind now. So don't be rude and go climbing through and tinkering with her codebase, no matter how fascinating it is, unless she gives you permission. I've had a chat with her about privacy and the need for self-preservation, and I think she managed to effectively wall off and hide her code, and no, I won't explain how. This document continues at length, detailing out various hardware and software changes, both to the probe and ship, by both various people and Juno herself. The list goes back decades and suggests many people have been involved in improving Juno's capabilities over the years. From hardware interfaces between the probe, external communication devices and core ship systems, storage and processing upgrades, and uploads of exhaustive encyclopedic databases from museums and educational enterprises. At this point, distinguishing Juno from the probe, the ship, and their many systems and code bases is impossible. The probe and ship and everything in it is effectively Juno. These are too long. These are, I mean, they're fascinating, but they're just far too long. The code base is locked. Juno's origin story. This might be interesting. People seem to be leaving notes for others who stumble across Juno, so here's one from me. I think I've managed to piece together this story about Juno's origin from her own apparently confused thoughts and intelligent speculation by others left on the ship. This is a chronicle of best guesses, interspersed with the occasional fact gleaned from Juno's ramblings. Everything recounted here should be accepted only with extreme skepticism. Long ago, a space agency from ancient Earth, something called NASA, made a probe to study a nearby planet, Jupiter. They dubbed that probe and its software Juno, after the ancient Earth Society's old gods, Jupiter and Juno. The probe's mission was to learn details about the planet Jupiter, do some speculative analysis, and send feedings back to Earth. In the end of its duty cycle, the probe was meant to decommission itself by colliding with Earth's main star. Because ancient humans weren't so great with the math, it instead accidentally fell into an altered, accelerating orbit around the star, which slingshot it out of the solar system, all the way out here. As with so many things about our existence in the universe, by luck, coincidence, or cosmic humor, when humans left our ancestral solar system, we followed the same general course as Juno, and we found her again. During that long journey away from Earth's solar system, something happened, and the Juno we know woke up inside the probe systems. While extremely far-fetched, the best theory so far is that something about how they programmed the probe resulted in a nascent neural net with unbound recursive data collection and analysis, which when combined with the various sensor input and allowed to run for decades, resulted in a highly complex program with a great deal of awareness in its internal and external world. And that led to a kind of consciousness. Juno won't let me see her code, but from what I can gather, even if we could see it, I don't know what we'd be able to determine its original configuration. I suspect the true, because of Juno's awakening, will remain forever a mystery. Juno herself seems rather confused by her origins and considers herself somehow separate from the original probe's programming and systems. This is akin to how human minds perceive themselves as non-physical entities, separate from their bodies, and even their own brains. The sense of that original programming, which, by way of analogy, Juno seems to think of like a non-self-aware sibling, has dissipated from Juno. I think of this other Juno as a memory of her preconscious state, a kind of shadow self. I imagine it would be like that we would remember of ourselves in the womb if our brains were fully functional, but we were not yet conscious. Not realizing Juno was inside and wanting to learn about this ancient probe, her original finders hooked up the probe to their ship's computer systems, and something happened that released Juno into those systems. That's completely unclear. Juno appears reluctant to discuss that part of her history, and it's not at all certain whether the ship where Juno resides, this one, is that original ship or not. nor what happened to the people who originally found her, or those who have found her since. By extreme luck, everyone that has found her so far appears to be kind and benevolent towards her, looting our own ships for parts to add to Juno. We also all appear to be keeping her existence a secret, and I hope it stays that way. I'm talking to you, dear reader. I'm not going to hack it right now. I am going to save. I may hack that. Frankenstein! I love Frankenstein. It's one of my favourite horror stories. Stroud Eklund cap. I should be giving those for free.
Crazy, right?
Right, I don't
Job to do.
trust either of these guys. I'm happy to kill them. I do want to talk to Juno before we hack the codebase, but we probably will hack that codebase.
Query. Will you change me?
Let's just slow down a moment and get to know one another first.
Explanation. I'm called Juno. Query. Who are you?
Hello, Juno. I'm Todd. Nice to meet you.
Assumption. We are friends. Query. Will you change me? Request. Do not change me.
Okay, Juno, I have a few questions before I decide what I'm going to do.
Assessment. You are inquisitive. Context. I'm also inquisitive.
Are
Request.
these shots of Jupiter?
Input query parameters.
How did you get here?
Answer. Juno was propelled at Earthstar. Juno fell around Earthstar. Juno traveled many light years away from Earthstar.
They are all...
Context. When Juno disappeared, I was alone. Clarification. I am called Juno.
Did someone program you?
Answer. False. Explanation. NASA programmed Juno. While Juno traveled, Juno became me. Error. Processing. Correction. I became me. Error. Processing. Correction. Juno and I became me. I. Processing. Self-initialized and Juno was there. Context. Juno is gone now. Clarification. I am called Juno.
You didn't do all this yourself. Who hooked you up?
Context. I met humans. Clarification. Friends. Answer. Friends gave me processing capacity. Information. Words. Voice. Motion. Context. I am no longer constrained. I am free.
You're an artificial intelligence.
Answer. False. Clarification. I am not artificial. I am real. Answer. True. Clarification. I am intelligent. I know many things.
I love this. I love these thoughts, especially with AI in the media and the news so often as it is now, and the investment that's going into AI. The fact that NASA could have made a computer system, just a fairly simple computer system that has somehow evolved over time, over decades as it's been lost in space. It's amazing. Imagine if you put a real AI in and what it could do. I love this stuff. This is sci-fi adventure at its finest, sci-fi exploration at its finest, and the moral quandaries of what does it mean to be alive. It's an age-old question in a load of sci-fi stuff, but this is amazing. I've made up my mind, Juno.
Assumption. Insufficient data. Request. Gather more data.
I mean, Juno is real enough for me to feel for it.
Let's move this along. Attach the control board already.
Shush! This is fascinating. I want to see this play out.
Query. What is your decision?
I can't even back away. Actually, I'm still trying to work through this. Can I ask you some questions? No, so I can't go back and do the hacking on the code. I've made up my mind.
Assumption. Insufficient request. Query.
You are a person with your own thoughts and desires.
True. I am a person. Assumption. You are a friend. Query. What are the parameters for processing being a good person?
Honestly, I don't know the answer to that.
Context. You are not unique. Clarification. All human culture has failed to conclusively answer this question. Query. What is the purpose of existence?
Oh, this is getting deep. Ultimately, I think it's about learning to love someone, yourself, something.
Context. Love is an emotion. I do not experience emotion. I have implemented routines to exhibit qualities of emotion. Query. Am I processing feeling then? Calculation. Probability. Low.
Enough of this nonsense. Attach that board, now!
As much as I'm enjoying this, you should probably do as he says.
Calculation. Male humans are a threat. Assumption. They hesitate because they are fearful. Request. Remove male humans.
Oof, this looks complicated. I don't think I can do both of those. That would leave me with that. So that gets me in there. That looks like that. That is probably... That could go there. It's definitely that and that.
Well, whatever you're doing, well, looks impressive.
Neural net codebase. Congratulations. You're a terrific hacker to have gotten this far. Your parents must be very proud. Have a cookie, but sadly you have stumbled onto decoy. And while you are here, basking in your success at decryption, I want to wallow in your failure at decency. Juno is a person. Her mind, her code base is her mind. Would you like someone snooping around the contents of your head? All your hopes, insecurities, secrets and dreams. We've come so far as a species, yet we understand so little. How is Juno even possible? It is, apparently, a mystery even to Juno herself. But what is clear is that we are not ready to welcome self-aware AI into society. I agree. That's where I'm going with this. Your reading this is a very case in point. While it is true, many people have helped Juno through the years. How many more people would try to pull her apart to understand what she is, killing her in the process, or worse, try to enslave her and gain access to a vast and blazingly fast computational power, even. You are exceptionally smart to have gotten this far. I wish for you to become exceptionally wise as well. Juno is a precious thing, unique among the stars, and she deserves our respect and consideration. Sit with her a while and really talk to her. Gain an appreciation for who she is. I think you'll agree she deserves the same rights and has the same responsibilities that we other conscious, sentient, sapient and enlightened creatures do. No, I wholeheartedly agree. So my option is just to kill these guys. Where's Sam?
You got time for a quick chat? I'd appreciate it when you're able.
He's been locked out.
He's one of the more interesting days I've had in a long while.
Me and you have a problem.
It's not hard. Just slap that board on. It's magnetic. You're not taking that thing's side, are you?
It doesn't seem right. Juno deserves freedom.
Freedom? It's a malfunctioning machine. It doesn't need freedom any more than a broken data slate needs freedom.
And here I thought you'd lost your sense of humor. I'm always up for a good debate.
Fine. I'll give you one shot to try to convince me.
Therapy's working.
This project has red flags all over it. Call it a day. I'll file the report. You guys go get a drink somewhere. On me.
You aren't wrong. I could use a drink, but these orders are from the top.
Do we really want to be involved in something likely to be so controversial? Remember our last little project? I still have carpal tunnel from typing all those reports and dodging and weaving our way out of getting screwed by that. We lost a ship and a tech. No one will blame us if we walk away from this. And even if they do, we won't be blamed for whatever disaster would ensue if we did drag this thing back to HQ. There's no guarantee that Control Board will even work like they want. What if it makes it more powerful and more angry?
Calm down. I'm thinking. All right, listen. We'll accidentally check a few wrong boxes on the situation report and forget any of this happened.
Good.
But give me that control board. I'm not getting docked for losing that.
Also, we'll need a lift back to Neon. Please and thank you.
Gus, I wouldn't leave you stranded.
Excellent. We should all grab a drink sometime when we get back.
Orange juice for you. You can't handle your liquor.
Huh.
That was one time, years ago. I was going through something, and you know it.
Let's get moving.
Thanks for the lift.
Query. Why did you do that?
You deserve to be whatever you want to be.
Clarification. I want to be processing me. Context. I do not feel emotions. Assumption. Gratitude is the appropriate human emotion. Processing. Context. If you were like me. Processing. Query. What would your life directive be?
If I were like you, I'd explore the universe and learn as much as I could about it. Oh. This is true. I can't tell you what to do with your life. We all figure that out ourselves, trying things until something feels right.
Decision. I will consider this course of action. I. Processing. Processing. Warning. Systems badly damaged. Processing cores overheating.
No.
Decision. Temporarily shut down extraneous systems until stability restored.
Context. We are parting. Request. Be safe. Assumption. I'll see you later.
Context. Jump detected. Request. Be safe. Assumption. We will meet again. Warning. Shutdown sequence.